We are joined by Coach Musselman here. Coach, what's going on, man? Rob Dosser, Archie Miller, Sean Miller. How you doing? Congrats on the win.
I'm doing good. Appreciate you guys having me on.
So I got to ask you, man, you guys have hit a winning streak again at the right time in the season. What's changed? How did you figure it out this year?
Well, I think for us, we weren't defending like we, are capable of or what we've defended in the past. And we changed our starting lineup. We went with a bigger lineup, a stronger lineup. DC Tony was actually playing the small forward / power forward for us. And we slid him to the starting off guard. And then we inserted Trey Wade into the starting lineup, a transfer from Wichita State at the 4 spot. And then we slid Stanley Amudi, who was playing the power forward, to the small forward. So we actually, most teams downsized. We actually went with the biggest lineup that we possibly could.
Hey, Coach Muss, it's Sean. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Coach Miller. How are you?
Hey, I got to ask you, when they called the Hogs tonight with that crowd, you gotta admit, even you who's used to it, it almost felt scary on TV. Did you get that sense?
Well, there's only so many arenas that can get that loud, and I'm 57 years old, Coach Miller, and that was the loudest building that I've ever been a part of. It really was. I mean, it was, and the building was shaking before the game. We were back in the locker room, and our locker room is very close to the student section. It was literally shaking right before we went out with about 2 minutes prior to tip off.
Yeah, no, it was, you could, just so you could really feel it on TV. Sometimes when you watch that game on television, it looks like a big crowd, but you really can't tell. Tonight, watching the Arkansas-Auburn game, you almost felt like you were at the game. And then when I saw them call the Hogs and I heard the crowd, it was an eerie call. Hey, I have one basketball question for you, all right? I watch you play a lot and big fan of you as a coach and how you guys defend. But, you've emerged now. You're the #1 defensive team in the SEC. And this year, to say that this year is quite a statement when you look around your league and some of the great defensive teams that you're with. And yet, when you're coaching your team, 3-point shooting obviously is your Achilles, or to this point is the thing that's probably you wish you could make more of them, or how can we generate more of them? But when you're coaching your guys, just knowing that you're the #1 defensive team and you're like, how do I generate points? How do I become more efficient offensively? What is it that, like right now, that you're conveying to your team and that you do maybe perhaps a little bit more or less in practice right now?
Yeah, I think from a defensive standpoint, Coach, we just, we became so much bigger, and sometimes we do give up some threes because, we're a little bit laterally challenged from a quickness standpoint at certain positions when teams downsize. But offensively, we just got to continue to move the basketball a little bit more at times. And it's my fault. I'm so used to the NBA game, and we have so many sets that are quick hitters or isolations that at times we get to standing around too much. And those are some of the things behind closed doors that we're trying to continue to improve on from an offensive standpoint.
Yeah.
Coach Muss, this is Arch. Congratulations on the big win, and also how you guys are playing right now. There's nobody playing better, not only in the SEC, but the country. So congrats on that. And I just want to ask you how your shoulder's doing. And as long as you keep winning, regardless of how your shoulder feels, are you going to keep that strap and that brace on all year?
Well, thanks, Coach Miller. I had rotator cuff surgery, and I'm 3 weeks in, and we haven't lost since we actually beat Missouri the game before the surgery, and so I got 3 more weeks. I hope we can keep winning. I got 3 more weeks of being in the sling, and then the rehab starts. And the greatest thing is, you can't sleep after a loss. Well, I haven't slept very much just because I'm in a recliner. So it's certainly good to not sleep after wins instead of the L's.
No question. And from your team's perspective, I think the nation should have been put on notice tonight about JT Note and how good he is, what he means to your team. But just talk a little bit about him and where he's at and what he means to what you're doing right now.
Yeah, I think Coach Miller, the thing with JD Note is he's improved so much. He was a good player from Jacksonville. He got an opportunity to sit out. He was a high volume scorer at a lower level. And so we've really tried to work with him from a player development standpoint to become more of a point guard. And he's still learning. He's still on the job learning how to be a ball distributor. But from a scoring standpoint and an isolation standpoint, he's as good as any guard in the country one-on-one. For instance, last year when we were in the Elite Eight, he was the one guy that could go get his own shot against that great Baylor defensive team. So JD's a much, much, much underrated defender. He's one of the highest steal players in the SEC. He always guards one of the top perimeter 2 players on the opposing team, and a really, really great competitor. And he's got great toughness as well.
Hey, Muss, the one thing I just say too, like I thought tonight, what you just said, he really wore down at times Wendell Green, like, and just the guy he was on. And, I thought his size and physicality on defense had a wearing down effect on Auburn. When you guys got to late in the game and then overtime, you had more gas in your tank than they did. That's what it appeared. And I credit a lot of that to your ball pressure.
No, we really appreciate that, Coach Miller, because, oftentimes some of the things that people will say is we have such a short rotation, we're going to run out of gas. And we feel exactly like you just mentioned, that we are a physical team, that we spend so much time in the off season trying to be in great physical condition so that we only have to play 7 or 8 guys. And we feel like a guy like JD Note, even though if he gets tired, that he can try to wear the other opposing guards off, because he does have great physicality. He's got great strength, and his ability to pick the ball up full court certainly can wear people down throughout the course of a 40-minute game, or like tonight, even a 45-minute game.
Yeah. Well, listen, Muss, I appreciate the time that you're giving us. I want to let you go celebrate, but I do need one favor from you. Do you think you can help me out with something?
I can help you out, Rob. What is it, man?
All right. So Jeff Goodman is listening right now, and he's doubted the Hogs all season long. I just want to know if you have any messages for Jeff Goodman.
No, it's all good. We were hyped up early in the year. We were trying to figure out our rotations. We think we figured it out. We still have a really, really, really hard schedule to end the year. But certainly, just as last year, we hit stride at the right time. We know that at some point the streak's, going to end. We just want to try to continue to play as good as we can and continue to try to improve and get ready for SEC tournament play.
That's a much more diplomatic answer than your fans on Twitter right now. Coach Muss, I appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. It's great catching up.
Hey, keep it going,
Keep going.
Coach. Good win.
We will. Thanks, coaches. Appreciate it.